Good morning, this is Paul Sparrey. Welcome along to my music gallery. London's weather today, dry with quite a few sunny spells expected, and temperatures reaching a maximum of 9 degrees Celsius. Nick Kamen, loving you is sweeter than ever, getting this week's music gallery off to a nice lively start. Good morning, Paul Sparrey with you on this Sunday morning, the 15th of March, 1987. My pleasure to have your company between now and 12 midday. I've spent the last week in Jersey, land of Jersey Jim Bergerac, the BBC One TV cop, and interesting to read on my way back on the plane on Friday night, John Nettles, who plays the part of the BBC One TV detective, he was actually mugged while he was in Jersey. Not very good for business, is it, really? When you're supposed to be playing a cop and you have your wallet nicked, I don't know. Nice to be back with you anyway. My time, body and soul, came into the studio this morning, and thank goodness, it looks really tidy in here today. The reason for it is our jingle machine, plays most of our jingles, is out having an overhaul, so there's plenty of room in the studio today. But does that stop us from playing the odd jingle or two? No, how about this one?
Ring now on 350 for your request on Radio Friern, where your friends are.
See, they may nick the jingle machine, but we're not defeated, are we? Phone lines open for your requests and dedications on 350. If you fancy having a record played any time between now and 12 midday, get your digit on the dial and give me a call. That's the current Radio Friern record of the week. From Bruce Willis, with a little backing vocal help from the Pointer Sisters. And Respect Yourself. And your chance to help us select the brand new Radio Friern record of the week as part of our pop panel at 11:15 this morning. Other features on the show today, Sunday Star Sign at 10:45 and B-side the A-side at 11:45. And it's the first of those features, this week's Sunday Star Sign, in about 3.5 minutes, the other side of Kim Carnes. Kim Carnes and Betty Davis Eyes.
Broadcasting to the staff and patients of Friern Hospital. This is Radio Friern.
Time for this week's Sunday Star Sign. This week it's Aquarius, those of you with birthdays between the 21st of January and the 19th of February. Well, Mercury, which is currently moving backwards through the sky, enters your sign on Wednesday and will put you in a mischievous mood, ready to poke fun at or show up anyone you feel is being pompous or unnecessarily self-important. The rest of the week will be packed with action and promise, and if you feel a little vulnerable or sensitive to criticism, this will soon subside when an overdue accolade arrives, and you'll be relieved by a financial boost on Friday. Romantically, it's a pleasing period with surprising revelations and encounters. That's for you, Aquarians. Enjoy your week ahead.
The closer you get, the better you look, baby. The better you look, the more I want you.
Jackie Wilson, and I get the sweetest feeling. And among the well-known sharing birthdays today, soul musician Sly Stone is 43 years old, rock star Ry Cooder celebrates his 40th birthday, and from the Beach Boys, singer Mike Love is 46. He was born on this day back in 1941. 9.5 minutes away from 11 o'clock, Paul Sparrey on a Sunday morning. The Four Tops, When She Was My Girl.
I would tell her
And Julius Caesar was killed today in the year 44 BC, and when Shakespeare's play was performed in New York, half the audience left as soon as the stabbing scene took place. They said they didn't want to get involved. Bruce Hornsby and the Range, and Mandolin Rain. Swinging across now to central London, the newsrooms at IRN and the 11 o'clock news.
11 o'clock news, this is Ed Boyle.
London's weather today dry with quite a few sunny spells and temperatures reaching a maximum of 9 degrees Celsius.
The sound of Friern on Sunday. Radio Friern.
Boy George, number 1 in the chart with Everything I Own. 6.5 minutes past 11 o'clock. A quick reminder that the phone lines are open for your requests and dedications. If you'd like to have a record played either for yourself or for maybe someone special sharing this Sunday morning with you, then you can give me a call on 350. And also a reminder that in about 9 minutes' time, this week's Pop Panel, your chance to help us select the brand new Radio Friern Record of the Week. Oh, with all the re-releases that are coming out, I dare say they'll be re-releasing some Beatles tracks in the near future. Here's the Fab Four, Love Me Do. The Beatles and Love Me Do. Sunday morning listening with Paul Sparrey on Radio Friern in the Music Gallery through until 12 midday today. Panel time now, your chance to help us select the new record of the week. Just listen to each of the next 3 discs, which are all new to Radio Friern this Sunday. Then ring us on 350 with record number 1. It's the new single from Genesis and the title Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. It's the Pop Panel on a Sunday morning on Radio Friern. Genesis and Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. Record number 2. Well, Janet Jackson is in the country at the moment. She's here to promote her new single, Let's Wait a While. Taken from her album Control and remixed and released as her brand new single, Janet Jackson. Record number 2 on the Pop Panel for this Sunday, and Let's Wait a While. Alright, we're 2/3 of the way through this week's Pop Panel selection. Let's have the third and final of our trio of new singles. This is the current single from Huey Lewis and the News, and the title Simple as That. Huey Lewis and the News, as simple as that. Just to recap on the songs you heard up for nomination as the brand new Radio Friern Record of the Week. Record number 1 was Genesis, Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. Record number 2, Janet Jackson and Let's Wait a While. Record number 3, Huey Lewis and the News, and Simple as That. Give us a call on 350 when you have your scores. We'll put the results through the Radio Friern calculator, and when we come up with the winning record, I'll play that for you at around about 10 to 12. Well, Benny King has abdicated the number 1 chart spot this week to Boy George. And here he is from 1977, partnering the Average White Band. And this is a song entitled A Star in the Ghetto. 10 years old, from 77. The Average White Band with Benny King and A Star in the Ghetto. Just a recap on the 3 records up for nomination as the brand new Radio Friern Record of the Week. Genesis and Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. Janet Jackson and Let's Wait a While. And Huey Lewis and the News, and Simple as That. Phone lines open for votes on 350. You've got about 10 minutes to get those votes in. If you'd like to take part on the Pop Panel this Sunday, give us a ring.
Hear your favourite record on the sound of Friern. Ring now on 350 to Radio Friern, where your friends are.
someone by night, some fly by day, moonlighting strangers who just met on the way, who just met on the way, who just met on the way.
Al Jarreau and Moonlighting. 16 and a half minutes away from 12 midday. B-side, the A-side coming up. The other side of Everything But the Girl. Everything But the Girl. And Each and Every One. It's B-side, the A-side time now, when I play the B-side of a current top 40 disc, the A-side of which you heard earlier. This week we stop off at the top of the pile of number 1 in the charts, flip the record over, and spin this from Boy George. Boy George and Use Me. And coming up after midday news, it's Roger James sitting in for Keith Rowe. 90 minutes of good stuff coming up, and the telephone lines are open for your requests and dedications on 350. It's 10 to 12, time to see how the voting went on the pop panel this morning, and the records up for nomination as the new record of the week on Radio Friern. Genesis and Tonight, Janet Jackson and Let's Wait a While, and Huey Lewis and the News, and Simple as That. And this is the winning record, the new single from Janet Jackson in the country at the moment. The title of the song, Let's Wait a While.
There's something I want to tell you. There's something I think that you should know. It's nothing I shouldn't really love you. Let's take it slow.
There you go, that's the brand new Radio Friern record of the week for the next 7 days. Janet Jackson and Let's Wait a While. And Attila the Hun died on this day in the year 409, having survived countless battles and put thousands to the sword. Attila went to a wedding and died of a nosebleed. He told his wife, "I'm dying, farewell, my heart, my beloved," and she said, "So long, Hun." Here's a record that's been especially asked for by the gang on Ward 11 this morning from the Eurythmics. Especially for all the gang down on Ward 11 this morning, Eurythmics and Thorn in My Side. Stay tuned after the midday news. Roger James sitting in for Keith Rowe. This is Paul Sparrey. Have yourself a great week. Bye for now.
The midday news, this is Bill Bingham. Independent Radio News.
15th of March 1987, and you're with me, Roger James, here on Radio Friern 350. And you can be forgiven for thinking that sounded a little bit like George Michael, because they used to be his backing band, you see. Pepsi and Shirley. This is Paul Johnson singing his little heart out. And can he sing? Listen to this.
You don't need to
Yes, the man, Paul Johnson, who had to take his tracks around to certain recording studios all over London until eventually someone said, "Okay, Paul, get in there," and give him a little studio time and a little bit of leeway to get his thing together. And he certainly got it together, didn't he? Paul Johnson then, and When Love Comes Calling. He's only about 21 as well, you know.
I found her diary underneath the tree and started reading about me. Wouldn't you know it? She wouldn't show it. And as I go through my life, I will wish for her his wife, all the sweet things she can find, all the sweet things they can find.
Yes, Make It With You gave them their first success. They were, of course, David Gates, Rob Royer, James Griffin, and who was the other guy? Larry Netchell. That's it, Larry Netchell. They were called Bread, and they got some nice sounds going in the mid-60s, right up to about the end of the 70s, and then folded up. They were all session musicians on the West Coast as opposed to the New York side, but certainly very talented boys, and made themselves a heap of money, which they are still living off, falling off their wallets all over the place they are. This is a lady making some money, talking of money. She's coming around again, and it is, of course, Carly Simon.
Baby sneezes, mommy pleases, daddy breezes in. It will be coming around again.
Here's Mr. P.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I meet you like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm acting wild as a bug. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. I'm all shook up. Yeah, yeah. I'm all shook up.
Yeah, that is Elvis Presley, of course, from his Golden Records Volume 1 RCA album. And if you'd like to nip out and get a copy, or you can come up here and borrow this one if you like, because it's been around for a long time. I'm one of the few presenters that play some good old rock and roll for you, so if you're ever listening to me on a Tuesday night, you'll get plenty more of that. You're listening to me, Roger James, at almost 5 to 1. We are fast approaching news, so we're going up to the news with a touch of George and Aretha.
Warrior that fights and wins the battle.
News on the hour on the sound of Friern. Radio Friern. sound of Friern on Sunday. Radio Friern.
My heart is crying, crying, lonely teardrops. My pillows never dry, lonely teardrops. Come, say you will, say you will. Hey, say it right now, baby. Come on, say it that you.
Jackie Wilson, and that's a favourite of Tony Speedwell, Lonely Teardrops. He's been dead a couple of years and he's got 2 wives and a girlfriend scrambling after his money. Poor old Jackie hasn't even got a gravestone on his grave, but they are going to put that to rights, I believe. I certainly hope so.
When the time is right, sexy and right, I'm gonna do the right thing. Gonna move it slow, much harder though. Sexy and so, I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm feeling. I'll never dream of leaving now. Hey, I did it right. Hey, hey, now.
And right here on Radio Friern, this Sunday, March the 15th, with me, Roger James. This is our record of the week. It is Janet Jackson.
I want to tell you, there's something I think that you should know. It's nothing
And certainly making a change for Janet. That's Janet Jackson, of course.
Once there were times, once there were reasons filled with rhymes, everything shared, everything told. You keep me so warm, take me from all those mighty storms and dreams seem so. Look at us now, turning our hearts, maybe we can break free. How many lies must we tell? How many lies must we see? How many times must we say it's for the best?
Great vocals on that. That is, of course, Spandau Ballet. And
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get those pending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak,
Don't go back.
just finished. You ain't got time to take a ride. Yakety yak,
Don't go back.
yakety yak, yakety yak.